All right, let's talk a little bit about politicians then. Speaking of ratings and the ability to get someone to tell the truth, they often, I now see these interview shows, and politicians have a way of, no matter what you as the interviewer ask, they answer a completely different question, and they shamelessly do it. How did you?
The ones who are directly honest get shunted aside when Barry Goldwater and George McGovern were two classic examples. I've interviewed them both many times, and both passed on now. Barry Goldwater and George McGovern had no cutoff between the brain and the mouth. Yep. You asked them a question, they answered, right? Wiped out in national elections because the public and we in the media say, we want direct honesty, and then we lambast you if you're directly honest. So what the politician tries to do is, how can I say something? And the best tip, anybody, if you're watching an interview show with a politician, and a guest is asked the question, and the politician says, I'm glad you asked that. Here's the truth. He is totally not glad you asked that. And he has said, I'm glad you asked that, so he can think of how to answer it that will appeal to the largest common denominator.
So I'm guessing you probably heard that about 4 billion times in 25 years on CNN.
But you do the best you can. What I try to do is get at the core of things. I try to ask good questions, come around in a lot of ways. But on the other hand, I have great respect for politicians for this reason. They do something that we don't do. One, they stand up and be counted. And they have what we have never had in our lives. They have a Tuesday in November where the score goes up. And we don't do that. Oh, we have ratings, but that's sporadic.
Right.
The score goes up. So I've always respected politicians and athletes. Athletes have something we don't have. One, their livelihood ends when most of our really good livelihood begins. The cheering stops when they're 40. Our cheering in life starts at 40, pretty much. And number two, they have a final score. You know, hey, you lost. You know, we don't have a final score.
Yeah.
I didn't lose 4-3 today, but somebody lost 4. Somebody played basketball last night, and one team scored 102, and one team scored 97. You can quote it all you want. The people on 97 lost. They lost.
So is that it right there? Is that the problem with the media, that we don't score things in the...
I respect athletes because they face that.
Yeah.
I respect politicians because they get a Tuesday in November that we don't have. So I begin with the respect for a man who ran for office. Then I can, if he gets jaundiced or off the beaten track, then you try to learn as much as you can. All I try to do in interviewing was learn as much as I can. When I yelled at people, I never learned anything.
Yeah.